First off, thank you to everyone who's been with us so far. And if you're new, we're glad you're here. We pray you'll join us on this journey and take something meaningful away from it. But listen, every one of us has been called by God for a purpose. But the truth is, it's easy to get distracted, discouraged, or even doubtful along the way. Maybe you've questioned if you're really equipped. Maybe you've wondered if your assignment even matters. But here's a reminder. If God called you to it, it's bigger than you and it's needed. Today we're going to talk about how to recognize your assignment, how to stay faithful in it, and why missing it isn't an option. This is Call a Spade a Spade, and let's get into today's episode.
Everybody good?
I'm chilling, just had a birthday. That was interesting. We went to Chicago, was touring around a little bit, and got to explore some stuff. So it was pretty cool, though. I appreciate it. My wife had put it together and stuff like that. And I just kind of was like, all right, well, see what she got going for me.
Yeah.
What about y'all?
No, I'm just maintaining, bro. Just building and growing. Obviously with the school, and my wife got a tryout for club team today, so that's exciting. So yeah, things are going.
What's
Yeah,
up?
no, I'm good. Just got done from getting off the road, had a game. Just got back at like 6 in the morning. So
Dang. Yeah, tired.
yeah, nah, definitely body
Yeah,
It's
beat.
one of them tired days, I ain't gonna lie.
Work got to get done though. So,
yeah.
Yeah, definitely do.
yeah,
So, all right, let's just jump right into it. Today is titled Don't Miss Your Assignment. I know sometimes when we say that, I think it's really clear when you say that. That can be in sports, that can be in, schooling, that can be in just life in general, especially when you're talking about calling to God. Um, and I think, in sports, it's like if you miss that assignment in sports, you kind of let the person score. If you're guarding somebody, you're in 2-3 and you miss that moment of getting back, boom, there you go. That's a bucket. Or if
Yeah.
you're in school, you're thinking, I got time to do this. And, here I am. Thinking I got time to make this assignment up. And professors don't be playing around with you. They say, I want it at this time on this day. They want it at that time on that day. So I'm sure Mo can definitely attest to that. Being fact, he ain't ever being a doctor, Dr. Mo. Not we gonna,
There we
we gonna
go.
put it to, it's on the way. It's on the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even in the military career, if you miss an assignment or something like that, it can be someone's life essentially. If you're working on a plane,
Yeah.
if you're securing a gate and you're doing something, missing that can be a very big part of, um, you know, multiple lives at that. So yeah, don't miss your assignment can be a very big thing. Um, it can have a lot of consequences. But when we talk about it in Christ, what do y'all think that kind of plays into it with Christ?
Um, my assignment is different from God's assignment.
Yeah.
So just being more consistent with that. I think of it like how can I say this? Like with basketball, you know what this is. Like if everybody has a role, or like for example, if you know what I'm talking about, if you're on the wing and your man is in the corner, your assignment is to be in the midline. But you can make it about you and be like, nah, my man over here. But you know what I'm talking about, where you make that pass, that skip pass, you should have enough time to get there. And also you gotta trust in the guy on the wing that if you can't get there on time, he'll get there for you. So
help
sometimes
me.
I think, yeah, just be in your role. Also, I think that ties into your assignment. 'Cause I think sometimes people will try to take on an assignment that's not theirs, and
Yeah.
that's when they start beginning to get overwhelmed. And especially with ministry, I'm learning like with me being a youth pastor, I don't overstep my lead pastor because he's the head of the everything we have going on. And then his
Mm-hmm.
wife has an assignment that she does, like because there might be an area assignment that he's better with than I am. Doesn't mean that I just don't put my hands up and don't do nothing, but just everything I can learn from him. But I think when we get caught up with it kind of Christ, because even think when Jesus came to earth, right? He had disciples and they had roles that they did and they played and assignments that they had. So he didn't do it himself. So I think we have to learn that when it comes to ministry, because ministry, I've been in it for about 3 months. Boy, it's like marriage. Like it has its ups and its downs. But you
Yeah.
got to keep the main. You got to keep the main thing. The main thing, honestly, that's eternal life and creating disciples of other people. Where I
Hmm.
think we can get that caught up, where we look for fluff, right? We look for crowd, but that's not what Jesus was told us to do.
Yeah.
So that's a tough conversation though for a lot of people. I think that's a conversation we need to talk about more. Like you just said, what's the true assignment of us being here? And
Hmm.
I think sometimes we get caught up with culture. We mix culture with church, and that was not the goal. The goal was not to be to be culture. It's to take over that. Like we're supposed to be Christ.
Yeah.
So that's a loaded question, bro. Like,
It's,
and
Right.
it's,
I'm
I,
learning
I
that.
know.
I'm
I love
learning
it.
that in ministry. Like, and I love it because it's a continuous process. Because me and my wife, when we first got into it, you look outside in, and you're like, okay, it couldn't be that bad. All right. But then one of my mentors told me, he said, you have to have strong men around you.
Hmm.
He said even women too as well. And I was just like, what you mean? He was like, because the battles you face, right? But we're gonna face persecution, obviously, but we're following him. So I think what comes with that, you have to expect it and be ready because if we're not if we're not having somebody, a woman or a man that's not ready for that thing, it can be get caught up. And that's when the voices in your ear, if they tell you how to react in the wrong way, that can get you caught up.
Yeah.
So that's what I got to say to that.
For me, I think like it's basically like for me, I feel like what my assignment is, I don't fully know it, but now I just feel like it's serving. Since I've been getting into like Christ and following more, it's like serving, making sure that like I'm serving in the right way because it's people that look up to me. It's like kids that like follow me and stuff like that. So I still make mistakes, but it's like I'm still serving because kids still text me, still write me, ask me questions, and the first thing I lead with is, do you follow God? Like, do you talk to God? Like, do you pray? Feel me? Because we could all talk about like the things of like worldly, like, because it's basketball, because we all trying to figure out what to do in basketball. But more so, it's just like it's more in life because it's only gonna take you so far. But it's also about your character. It's not mostly about what you do on the court. It's outside of the court. So I find myself smiling more, helping more, and just being more attentive to like my assignment. Like, and I feel like right now my assignment is just to serve. So that's what I'll say my assignment is for now. But I don't know what it is in the end.
That boy good. That boy good right there.
Huh.
That boy good.
Well said, E. That was really good. I like that.
Yeah, that was great, bro. Honestly, I think because even that answer, I think we both started there. Me and Mo, even with just serving, how we did. I was like, where you at is exactly how we started to like feel um, that calling and that assignment that we had. So, hey, bro, that's an amazing answer. Honestly, that's something that I think everybody can really and honestly relate to.
Yeah,
Um, if you haven't tried serving yet, I would definitely serve, and then see where God takes you with that. And like you said, you're already doing that, so that's just a perfect mixture for God to come in and just kind of do His thing for you. Now you serve, and He'll place everything in front of you. I like to think of it as like a chef and serving type of thing. Whenever you go to a restaurant, you have your chefs in the back cooking, and then you have your servers, and that's kind of what we are. We're the servers. We're servicing other people while God is making the meal for other people. And then we bring it out. We ask, how is it? And then at the end of the day, I don't think people kind of realize it, but you know, when we talk about being rewarded by God, I consider it the tip. We talk about serving and then giving, the servers a tip. I think that's what it is for us. That would be our reward in that way.
yeah,
I love to think of our relationship with God as a serving, a chef type of thing, and then in a restaurant. So I don't
yeah.
think anybody else has ever really kind of thought of it that way, but I've always kind of seen it. I'm like, okay, we're serving, but like, how does that look? We talk about who's controlling it all. Like, we're not touching the food at all, but God is, and He's making it special for them.
Well said.
And in our service, if we're doing a bad service, just like you said, the way you do stuff, and you're talking to kids, if we're doing a bad service, you get bad results. If we're doing a good service, usually people will be like, "Oh my gosh, let me talk to the manager. He was a great server. She was a great server. It was just amazing." So I think I like to put it in that way. I think it's even easier to grasp in that concept as well. Um, but jump into the actual first question of it is when you think about God's assignment for your life, what was the biggest challenge or fear that comes to mind?
The biggest challenge is people will leave.
Mm,
Because like you think you have a certain way of you think that your life is going to be like this person, oh, Sam about days, they always going to be with me. And when it goes into adulthood, that's not how it plays out.
mm-hmm,
And sometimes where you can get caught up with looking back and now you got to realize that with your walk with Christ, people are going to leave. So that's been the biggest challenge for me because I'll just be transparent and honest. Like I used to have a group of people I played a game with, and I no longer can do that because I'll go ahead and say it. I got into the party and I was just like, hey, like, I want to be mindful of, what we say. I'm not saying people, I know people cuss here or there. I'm not saying, but the thing is, if you have access to me, it's the difference. Because sometimes I wasn't aware that after I have a conversation with them, I'll like say a cuss word and I'll be looking like, you don't even cuss.
mm,
So that's when she like, I had to think like, dang, you really don't, it still affects you. So
yeah,
I used to tell them, and so with that, it's different, right? And sometimes that's an adjustment because you think that's gonna happen, that you're gonna feel good about it overnight, but you won't.
mm-hmm,
So that's been the biggest challenge for me. The biggest fear is you have to be able, like when following Christ, like you basically say, God, Jesus, I'll die for you,
yeah,
and that's a fear that I'm learning to navigate with because as I'm reading the Bible, that's literally what they were saying, and that's what they did. Like they were willing to, not to do truth, right? And I think when you're in this leadership role, I can understand and see why some people do what they do because it is hard. But
mm-hmm,
then I do feel that conviction hitting me like, no, you need to say something. So
yeah,
because with leaders of the church, if we don't say nothing, they will get it from someone else.
yeah.
So
So,
I so and they, my fault. so
go.
so so with that because I'm just gonna be listen. I'm here. I'm doing it. Because we care about the people that's coming to the church, right, and all this stuff. But with that, we're not leading them to God. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm,
because they were in the places the heart, bro. They was in the. I feel like sometimes we hide behind walls, which I understand,
mm-hmm,
right? But me, bro, I'm in the slums, bro. Like I'm in here with these guys that have been to jail, that did a lot of things. But I was wondering, like, God, why you put me here? And it's crazy to think that there's a guy, his name is Gucci, big solid dude, like dude like 5 times my size. And I'm able to say something to him and he'd be like, but it's not because of him scared of me, it's the respect he has for me.
mm-hmm,
It's my walk with Christ he sees. He sees the respect I have for my wife. So when he sees that, he's like, dang, okay, I respect him. Because I'm not speaking, I'm not judging him, right? So ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm driving down the car and my God times are in the weirdest places. It's in my room, it's on the toilet, it's in the shower, and it's in the car.
yeah,
Those are my moments with God. So when I'm driving in the car, he was like, hey, just do a Bible study with the guys. I said, what? Oh, no, I ain't doing that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. But because I'm used to feeding in the youth, now I'm feeding into homeless people and the men, right? So I'm like, okay, let me see. So I tried it. Man, them guys loving it. One guy was in tears saying, Coach, I've been looking for this. I recently lost one of my boys 5 months ago.
mm-hmm,
And I said, how about if I wasn't attuned to the assignment God has given me?
yeah,
How about if I let fear, like I just spoke about, stop me from doing that? I want now this person wants to know the Bible more. So with your assignment, you have to speak more, plain and simple. And I'm gonna tell you my wife something my wife told me. She said you gotta do it scared.
yeah.
Because if you always wait for the right moment, you're never gonna do it.
You're never gonna do it. It's never the right moment.
Because the thing is, when you and Cam know this, and I had to realize this, when you're in that pulpit and when you're speaking to people, don't make it about you, make it about him.
Mm-hmm,
Because the more you make it about him, he's doing it with you. But if you make it about you, you're doing it yourself. So
Yeah.
when you walking this out with this assignment, or when you God's saying you do something, He's doing it with you. He ain't just gonna say it and just leave you there. But sometimes, we go based off sight, we don't see it. But if you're not in the Word, if you're not obviously listening to worship music, and have the right people around you, that would dictate the next steps you have for your life.
Yeah.
So I'm realizing that God put me in this position to speak. He ain't put me in the position that, man, shut your mouth, sit right here, and then be okay with what everybody's doing. He said, speak the truth, and just know that I'm gonna protect you through everything, right? I'm saying be mindful of the truth, because that's something I learned today. No, yesterday during Bible study, even Jesus himself got angry, right? But people don't realize there's a difference between bad anger and righteous anger.
Yeah.
And when I learned that, I was like, oh, boy, well, listen, I was out because people don't talk about that enough. But I'm in a Bible study with a guy named Brian Morgan, where he is straight to it. And he said, this is all scripture. Ain't no fluff. This truth. And
Yeah.
then he has scripture, obviously, to align with what he's talking about. And when I see that, that's something that I'm learning from him, because the study he's doing, I actually got it right here. If you want to look into it, let me know. This right here is amazing.
But that's
Because
a where you order that at, or you could just
no,
send
I,
it to
I
me.
I got two, so I'm gonna send one to you. But it's a study that helps you to. People don't realize Jesus walked life with people, so he was
Hmm.
right next to them. He wasn't in front of them. That makes sense, because even I remember, how can I say this? He was talking about his daughter, right? He said how he disciplined his daughter is he don't discipline her eye to eye. He sits next to her. And I was like, what? So then
That's
I
different.
was like, he said, because I'm walking this with her. I
Yeah.
was, I got chills, bro. Because you don't know what you're doing for a child at that age, bro. Like,
Man,
and it made me think about how I speak to people sometimes, because I can be in the, sometimes we can be in a position that we over it, but no, that's not it. We're doing this together. We're both sinners. This title doesn't change anything about me. I'm still learning things, the way of life. I still struggle with things. I still have thoughts and all these things, and I'm able to express that to him. But hey, with that, I have to speak through it. I still got to be in prayer.
Hmm.
But a lot of people don't understand that. They think just because I'm in this position, or just like marriage, like you know how it is, getting married, like, oh yeah, we good. No, we still got to deal with things. Life still
Still
goes,
doing things.
right? You going to listen with anybody listening to this, as a Christ follower, you will suffer. You will suffer, but just do it with him, bro. And I'm telling you, there's a difference.
We just lost about like 3 listeners just because of that part.
I'm saying you will suffer, but like
No, but it's true though. I
I'm
mean,
telling, I'm a living witness, bro. When I lost my dad, everything I'm losing. Last week I buried my grandma. You don't think there's questions? I was angry, and it
hmm,
wasn't a coincidence. As I go into it, I was mad the day before, and as I go into the Bible study, this man says, "Oh, we're going to talk about good anger."
yeah.
That's not a coincidence, and I didn't want to go to the Bible study. I didn't feel like going. I was about to make excuses.
Went.
I'm not going, but I can't do things based off my feelings.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I know I went a whole rant, but
nah, that's real.
Look, like I said, look, you almost made me go off on a tangent. I ain't gonna lie, but I reeled it back in. You know how I felt, especially when you said
yeah.
that if we don't learn from our pastors, we're learning from somebody else. Hey, boy, you hey, I almost got back started up from the last conversation that we had.
I was just gonna say that.
I was in fear for
No,
the whole podcast for just 2 seconds there.
Amen.
no, because bro, like I'm just realizing more and more, and my wife would tell you, I have moments. I'm yelling, bro. Like I'm straightforward with God. I'm not. There ain't no punches thrown. Like this is how I feel.
Hmm.
But I make sure after that prayer, I'm like, you know what? I trust you.
Yeah.
Even though I feel this way, I trust you. Tears, anger, all those things. So that's just like I said, a relationship. Sometimes I just be pretending as I'm driving that God, they right there with me. I'm just conversating with them.
Hmm.
But because, bro, sometimes I get lonely at the top, bro. Like you
Yeah.
only have a select few of people. People think it's a whole body of 30 people. No, it's not. You only have a select few people you can go to, because especially as Cam, as a husband, he has to be mindful of the voices that he got going into him, because he has his wife to look at. But right, if he call his homeboy and be like, man, my girl tripping, man, just leave that girl, bro. Now you're in trouble. right? You got kids,
Slim
Yeah,
pickings.
right? You got to be mindful of the people. You got to be mindful of who you surround your kids with,
nah,
because they
facts.
can be leading. You can be leading your kid to death, right? I was talking to a parent the other day. He said that their son over there on TikTok and doing all these other stuff. All right, then who are you allowing in their life? Let's
Yeah.
talk. It's not all on the child, bro. What are you allowing? What voices you allow to talk to them? So you just gotta be careful. I feel like we gotta just be have more standards when it comes to us. People have no standards to them,
Mm.
to the voices they hear or people they around. All right, I'm done. All right, I'm sorry.
Are you good? Always, always had a little.
Nah, you was speaking. Hey, if you feel it, speak. You
No,
was
bro, because
speaking.
I don't want to take, but it's, 'cause I still got a lot more to say. I didn't go back to you, but it's just I'm in a place where I'm also talking to myself. So I want
Mm.
everybody to know that I'm talking to myself. Like I'm doing this with you, ain't no judgment, and that's why we doing this because I realize sometimes with me, even with this, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna say that. It might hurt some feelings. But if I say it the right way, it's gonna be a place from love. It's not gonna be a place from judgment to know that we can do this together. And if God can do this for my life, for me saying, obviously doing this assignment, this can be anybody. He would tell you, man, when I was in college, I went to church one time. And he was in the back and we were asleep, right in the pews, laying out. Coach Bars, never forget that.
Was for real. We was like,
That
what?
there was never a day me and E went to church more than I did. I didn't go to church
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I didn't step foot again. Miami, didn't go. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was gone for like 4 or 5 years. So if God can do this for my life because it was crazy, He still loves you.
Mm.
He still was protecting me through all those things. He still put surrounding me with the right people and still placing me. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing in life, I don't care what nobody says, ain't nothing a coincidence. Nothing.
Mm.
So with that, even me and Eve getting back together, me and Cam, and now look at our walks. Now I'm able to tell you now I'm a testimony. So just say yes to the assignment, bro. Like you gonna listen, you do it scared. I'm scared right now. I was shaking in my boots. I'm doing it with him. I'm done.
E, you got anything to say?
Yeah, my biggest fear is not knowing the outcome of like the assignment, basically. So like with me serving and me
Boy,
and
E
me
on fire, boy.
chill, chill. With me serving and me like for me like telling these kids things like not knowing the outcome of like how they gonna turn out. Cause like anybody could look at my social media and just take something different from what I'm saying because they're not in my walk. Like they're
Mm.
not like with me while I'm in here praying, with me while I'm in here watching sermon, or even when I'm fighting like the demons that I fight, because like you say, we all still sinners. Like it's times where I'm angry. Like I'm angry about a lot of things. And it's like I don't go to God to talk about it at times. I'll wait 2 days to be like, all right, let me see if I really was angry. Because if I go and then I turn around and be angry again, I don't want him to be like, all right, so what you did, you're not really listening to me, or you're not really like, you don't really want to get over what you feeling. So I'll wait 2 days and really like be like, let me see it just like was a one time thing. But I really still be angry. And then when I talk to God about it, like you say, you got to do it scared. Because even after the prayer, I'm still mad, I'm still angry. But I'm like, I'm gonna trust your way. I'm gonna trust your plan for me. I know it's a better outcome. And like you said, it's nothing is not a coincidence. Like I don't think what I'm going through is a coincidence. I don't like it, but I don't think it's a coincidence. I feel like it's gonna grow me in a sense where I need to because I got kids, like you said. Like it's gonna be things I'm gonna be mad about for the rest of my life because I got kids. Like, and how would I know how to deal with it if I still got that quick trigger anger, quick trigger temperature? Like you know me in college. Like my temper was this quick. Like it ain't take too much to really get me hot, get me mad. So it's like I don't want to move like that because I got girls and I gotta talk to them from a place of love. And I never want to talk to them like out of anger. Like even sometimes like when I'm telling my daughter, don't do this, don't do that. I'll be like, yo, and I say don't, but I'll be like, yo, let me catch myself. Like I can't talk to her like that. But it's
Yeah,
like they're not listening. But it's like
yeah.
I understand they're kids. They want to play. It's certain things that catch their attention, and I got to just learn how to be patient with that. So just basically back to what I was saying, like the assignment, because I got this one kid from Switzerland. Like he write me a lot, like always talking about basketball, always talking about like, oh, he want to be like me, but that's my biggest fear of the outcome of am I feeding him the right things for him to be better than who I am or just to take the walk that I'm trying to take. So the biggest fear is be the outcome. Like sometimes I read his message and I won't write him back because some of the stuff he say to me, I don't be knowing what to say. I'm like, bro, I don't know what to say. Like, cause if I lead him astray and I tell him something that's not right, then I'm gonna feel bad because I don't want to be I don't want to be that thing that made him go this way instead of
Mm-hmm.
going that way. Like you said, if you don't get it from your pastors, and I'm taking if you don't get it from your parents, you go get it from somebody else. And I'm that
Yeah.
somebody else. And I'm a parent at the end of the day. So I don't want nobody to tell my kids nothing wrong and have them lead us straight. And then I'm more so mad at my kid because you're not listening to me, but they listen to somebody else because they looking up to somebody else. So just
Mm-hmm.
being in this position of like somebody looking up to you, it's hard. Like it's difficult. Like you gotta really like it's like a microscope. But it's like I don't want to really post like my walk every day because I'm like, bro, like it's my walk. Like I want to walk this walk for myself. Like I want to when I come out, I don't want nobody else to see me but God. I ain't caring about nobody else seeing me. I want God to see me like, all right, I saw you do the work. Like I don't want it to be shown broadcast to the world. I'm still like myself. Like I still post certain things. I still do certain things. But when it comes to like influencing kids, I try to be like very attentive to the things that I say and the things that I like watch them follow. Like, cause I just posted the video, me crossing somebody and shooting at the crowd. The kid was like, "Oh yeah, I want to do that in the game." I'm like, "No, no, that was out of anger for me. That was out of anger. Like I was mad. The crowd was booing me. Like so. I'm like, that was just out of anger. And even like, if you see, I'm running away because I'm like, damn, I should never did that. But I'm like, hey man, that happened. But it was
That
just
was a
out of
bucket.
anger. Now it was a bucket, and I was hot because they was really disrespecting me. But
That was a bucket.
I'm like, nah, don't do that. Like, if anything, like, just put the three over the face, or like, dap your team, like, celebrate with your teammate. So just being mindful of those things. Like, I'm still learning, still growing, but man, like, that's my biggest fear of like the outcome of how I impacted somebody else, like in my process of serving, like in my assignment of serving. So that would be it for me.
Hey,
That boy, that
keep
boy
doing what
hot.
you're doing.
Yeah,
I
yeah, that's
want
a
you
boy.
to I want you to do something. I want you to watch the first episode and look at your difference how you talk now. That's what I
Oh,
want you
That's
to do.
the fear for me though. Like
that's
I'm scared
scary.
to
I ain't gonna
go.
lie. That's
E,
really
E,
scary.
you can
I'm
tell.
scared
So
to
I'm gonna
go
tell
watch the
some.
first
So before
episode.
Karen go, you can tell that this is number God because you started sending me sermons. I'm gonna go ahead and share to somebody, and you. I know you saying you now you have somebody that you watch, and through all those things, bro, you maturing, bro. I don't care what
Hey,
nobody said. And I'm very proud of you. Like I'm very proud of you.
Appreciate it.
And also take note of this that somebody's gonna be drawing the cam. Ain't no hating on that. Because hey, if somebody's more joining him, they go to Cam. Somebody, a lot of people have been like, "Hey man, I like E," and just seeing. So with this walk, right? They walking there with you. You know what I'm saying? And then you're also transparent. You're honest because you know what you did once you made that move. Before, if you made that move, you would never care. Or I mean that gesture, you would never. You would be like, "Man, I'm good." But
Yeah,
hey,
nah,
you know what that was? That was that conviction.
yeah,
man,
nah. Definitely was.
that's what that was.
And then that's a good thing because, like Phil mentioned, if you can sin and go to sleep, bro, that's a problem. You sleep well at night, you like this, you can sin. That's a problem, bro. You, so I like that for you, bro. I'm very proud of you.
I do.
Appreciate it.
That was a good thing to say, Mo. Honestly, go back and listen to the first episode. Hey boy, you can definitely see that you're moving with Christ, and like where you feel like you weren't at in the first episode, you may feel like you may still be there. No, you're
Mm.
not. I'm telling you, I know you're not, bro. So I have two of them though. So one of the things that was a challenge for me was I always tell myself, "Am I qualified for this?" You know, like you know, like I'm not a pastor. I'm not, anything with a big title or anything like that. I'm just me. I'm just Cam, and it was something that played out a lot of times, especially at the blend. You know, they were good at empowering us. I don't know, Pastor Eric, who's really good at empowering us and putting us in positions where we had to grow. You know, so for me, I'm like, even like coming in at first, I'm like, dang, I join, but like, was I really supposed to be here? Like like I just want to try it out, see how it goes, But like, the more I did it, the more I realized, okay, like, you don't really have to be as much as you need to be. Even being in a position I'm in now, it's like I still be thinking like, should I even be in the room with these people right now? Like, should I be talking to them about this? Should I be, like, am I qualified for this? It's even I know we are talking about a conversation about how I need to uh, you know, have a conversation about a situation that happened with my youth pastor. It was like, it was still kind of in my head, like, am I even able to do that? You know, but again, it's like we all still sin and we gotta call it out as it is. So that was something I had to kind of overcome in that moment to be like, okay, I may not have the title, but I am still qualified as a person in Christ to do so. If we're not able to do that, then we're kind of just becoming, you know, sheep led to slaughter. We're not really, we can't really come back and question the things that we, should be questioning people. We're never going to get that perspective, or somebody that we could be talking to that needs that could see a different side of something. So, I always realize that. Then I kind of just go back into reading the Bible, and it's like, a lot of people that were chosen to do things were never qualified for these things. Moses had a speech impediment, but was told to go tell Pharaoh to let his people go. A lot of people don't know it, but it's just like, just knowing that makes me be like, okay, he was worried about his, you know, disability in a sense. Speak well, so I don't think I should go talk to these people, But it's like, okay, even with that, I'll make you stand out over them. So I think that was something that, even though it doesn't matter if I'm qualified, because Moses wasn't a king. Moses wasn't, someone that was in this very high position to go tell this person to let people go. No, he's just, like you said, did what God said to do. It was that yes. He said, yes, I gotta go do it, and he did it. My second thing though was always is now is, am I doing enough to reach others far beyond the church? Like, I know I have a good presence within the church, with my youth students and youth students before, but the big thing, is like, okay, am I doing enough outside of the church? I don't feel like I just have a calling strictly on just teens in general. I feel like I have a calling on teens and young adults. Something I've always realized, I'm able to talk to younger adults easier. People come and talk to me, and they feel so comfortable just open up to me. That's something I've always realized about my life, is that people are so comfortable with like just opening up to me about like deep stuff in their life. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, bro, I did not ask for all that. Like, I don't know why you talking to me about this. Like I'm some type of therapist or something. But it's a sense that I had to realize that it's just a gift that God has given me. And now with that gift, I look at it as like, am I doing enough for these people? Am I really reaching out? Am I, again, I know we jump back to this slide, but even taking this as being a host as a challenge, it was like, you know, like, am I doing enough for that? Like, what am I supposed to do with all this? It's even branched out to be where I was brought with another opportunity by somebody in the military, really cool guy that I've known for years. Um, and he brought up an opportunity with me to like start a worship thing within like the military. I feel like that was like when he brought it up to me, I was like, I was like, yeah, I said, I'm for it. Like, let's do it. You know, and that kind of showed me like, okay, the more I continue to do what I'm doing now, it'll open me up to do more for others outside of just this. Um, Again, showing up for the kids is such a big thing, because it was like, again, the qualified thing. It was like, you know, I think it was the moment I kind of realized that it was like, I can do this, was more so just like, yeah, how, like I said, how I interacted with my kids at my church. It was just like, okay, they look for me when I'm not at church. I think I told like a couple of them I wasn't going to be at church this Sunday, and they were like, "What?" He's like, "See, you just missed last Sunday, and you gonna miss." Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got something else to do. I'm not gonna lie. I do have something else to go attend. So, it's a family thing. So I do want to go. Like, but it was just the fact that I'm realizing that they don't. They don't. It doesn't matter if I was Pastor Q. It just matters that I'm me, and that
Yeah.
I'm there for them. And the more I reach out to them, the more they're gonna reach out to their friends. The more they're speaking about, they're coming to me about their serious situations, and or telling me just about their dreams. I think two of the youth girls that I go, I'm leader over. They were like, hey, they always come to me and they're like, hey, we're writing a book. I'm like, you writing a book? Like what? Like that's crazy. But and it's things that they don't also sometimes tell their parents. Like this is sometimes they tell me, and I'm like, am I the only
Yeah,
person? They're like, yeah. I'm like, crazy, but I do appreciate it though. Like but that just goes to show me that they don't care. You know, so why should I? They don't care as long as I'm carrying myself the right way. Like you said, if I'm carrying myself the right way, it just makes it easier for them to come to me and see, like, okay, he's real. You know, I can actually his life that he lives is what he says it is. He's following Christ, but he's also doing it in a way that it makes it more interesting. It's not just like, oh, there's all these rules and responsibilities, but it's also just a way of loving and enjoying what you do in Christ. So I think that's just those were the two things that I had actually kind of like had in the back of my mind, but I was able to get over with just from like viewing what God is showing me. Again, the serving and tips and reward type of thing I was talking about earlier. Um, so that's my spill on that. But yeah, again, Mo, you almost sent me off into a big tangent earlier because
chill.
I was about to. I had episode was about for a minute. I almost cut you off too and started going to it. But again, even with that, like how they get things, because we know the topic that I'm talking about. I'm just not going to talk about it on here, you know. But we know the topic I'm talking about, and it's just like you can see how like so many people have used that as a means of their actual truth without holding someone accountable. And now we see the results of not holding someone accountable and what people will, the pedestal these people put like that person on. So that's all I'm gonna say. Because if I get too in deep with it, people start figuring out some context clues. I ain't got time for it. Because that's a debate. I'm frankly quite okay with having, but it's not something I necessarily want to jump into too much on. Um, so jump into the second question. We were talking about the yes, like how we say yes, right? I just love how we always talk about something and it just falls right into the next question. Uh, but the second question would be, how was saying yes to God's assignment impacted the people around you?
um, it impacted my wife.
Mm,
So she's obviously the closest thing to me. And being like I said before, it was just basketball, and also just being married, and then now you're adding something else. So,
mm,
uh, and because just be transparent, like when the position came about to me, she more thought it was about me just doing it. And I told her, I said, when you see a pastor, you also see the wife, right? So I said, so I knew because when the position guy came about, like it really was talking to me, but I just knew like when they see me, they see you,
mm,
right? So same thing when they see her, they see me. So when they might actually do something, they know that it's me and you because since being married, we have a lot more opportunities come about because it's like somebody they don't mind investing in you. Because I told her, I said, because if I was single and doing certain things, this position would never came about. So when she thought about it, she was like, then that's true. So with her, just she battles with, and y'all know my wife, like she's amazing, like well spoken, all that, but she has some insecurities by herself. She was just like, oh no, that's just you gonna be on that pulpit. I'm like, no. I said because them seeing a woman is a woman might see her and just be like, dang, like I want to be her, like you just said, like E just said, like just the leadership role you have, but sometimes they can't only hear from me. I think it'd be like coaching, right? Anytime I have an assistant, I empower them. I always
mm,
tell them, I say after practice, and I tell you if you have anything to say, don't say nothing. Or just be like, oh, I'm good. Because at that moment, I'm empowering you and these kids are watching you. So they just, because and then they need to hear from other people. There's times in my drills, I come into practice and be like, hey, you got to lead this drill for 20 minutes. And I'll sit right there. I won't say nothing. They be like, no, coach. No, no, I'm going to empower you. Like, and
yeah,
if somebody calls you to be a head coach, I'm not going to hold you back from that. Man, take that job. If it look good. And it changes your
yeah,
life financially. So it empowered my that's it did affect my wife because she's the closest to me. And sometimes like for example when I think when she really knew during the camp meeting when I did youth camp. No, sorry, youth rally. When I spoke last Friday, that altar call, something just took over me. The Holy Spirit filled me, and boy, listen, I was yelling as I was praying for these people. And my wife said at that time, I could see she looking at me, and she said she knew from that moment that God called me to do this. And to be transparent with y'all, after the fact, I was just like, whoa, like because I said, but the thing is, Cam, I said yes to that, and I
Hmm.
was terrified when I went on that pulpit. I just want to be mindful of things. I said I want to make sure somebody got something from it, but a lot of people talked about their testimony and just being able to see me because they wanted to learn more from me. Because I'm glad I was able to walk in being me. Because
Yeah.
and I had the attire I wanted to wear. My hair was a certain way. I didn't go up there trying to be somebody I wasn't, and that's very hard to do because a part of you wants to be like, dang, I gotta look a certain way, but that's not the case. God's gonna use you, and that's what happened. So I'm glad I was able to do that because that was the most. Because I don't know if you ever get this feeling when y'all go somewhere, they are going to a setting, you feel like you have to be somebody, you get a little insecure about what you want to wear.
Hmm.
You never do throughout the whole week. And then just for this, you like, oh, do I gotta? And you just start making up things in your head.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, let me just be me. Let me just be me. And when I was me, I was able to get the big end because I don't want to be somebody I'm not. And then when I go to bed at night, knowing like, dang, I'm being somebody I'm not. That's not gonna feel good going to sleep. So yeah, if anybody I say impacted my life the most.
Tell you.
For me, I don't really know. Like I'm away. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm away. Like I'm basically isolated from like the people I love the most. Get what I'm
I
saying?
got something for you after this though. I
So
know it
so
is. I know what it
basically
is.
so basically like the people I wanted to impact, like my kids, like my mom, my friends, like I'm not with them, so they can't really see these acts of service. They only hear about it. Like it's something they hear about, and like when you hear about something, it's like, oh yeah, like it's whatever. Like, but when you see it, it's different. It's like, yo, like I don't know this person. It's not the same person that I grew up with. It's not the same person that like I raised. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I'm a totally different person. I mean, I'm still the same. I still joke around. I still play
Right.
around like with people I love. Like you get what I'm saying? But in terms of like when it come to like being of service, like I take it very serious because like it's not something I want to play with. It's not something I feel like I can get a second chance with. Like especially with like an individual. Like it could be a kid. It could be like even like here. Like sometimes like they don't even speak the language that I speak, but just how I am, like as a person, if I see an old lady need help, like I go help. Like when I'm at the grocery store, like I go pick up stuff. Like they don't understand, and then when I come, it's like they're fearful. They like, oh, he's gonna take it. But then when I help, they're so like thankful, like thank you, and it make me feel like it don't matter like what language they speak, whether they understand me or not. It was just a service. Cause even I'm at fear too. Like yo, say if they finna call the police, I'm in a different country. Nobody here know me for real, except for my teammates. Like outside of that, nobody know me. So like just doing those acts of services, it make me feel good. Like it affect me the most more than anybody because I'm the only one here. Like I don't really have nobody that I really love here to see me do those things. Like they can hear about it. Oh, I help this lady with this. They got they everyday life that they going through. They like, oh yeah, nah, for sure. Like definitely. But it's like if they see it, it's like, man,
Yeah.
like everybody that I know, like they know I got a good heart. They know I always been like a genuine person. Like, but the path I'm walking on is totally different than who I was before. So I don't really have nobody that it affect the most. But I wanted to affect my kids the most for sure, because I want them to see me like feel me as like, oh, this is my daddy. This is my dad. You know what I mean? My dad
Yeah.
a good man. My dad a good
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Like I always want them to lead with that, and I want to be that example for them to always lead with being a good person. No matter the
Yeah.
color, no matter who it is, just always lead with being a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You said you had something to say, Mo?
You know what I'm saying now?
Uh, oh, you meant at like the very end.
I mean, it's up to you. I didn't want to. It's up to
It
you.
don't matter. Hey, you
I'm
got
gonna send
time.
this to you, E, and I want you to do this with your teammates.
What? Read it.
You're gonna read it, and it's like a devotional. So I want you to internalize it first, and then you're gonna do a Bible study. And it gives you a step by step. The question that asks is more intimate, so you're not. It's not like a sermon. Well, it is a sermon, but it's more like it's more one like you allow them to speak for themselves, so they're not going to listen to you the whole time. You have question. It has questions tied into what you're gonna teach the lesson. The lesson. So the whole goal is we're both doing this together. So any questions you have, let me know. And wherever I get, where encounter I get with different people, I'll let you know. But I actually got an extra book, and I was wondering who to give it to. And then when as we were speaking, yes, because he gave me a second copy. He said, "I'm gonna give you another one." Holy Spirit, God is good. So the other
Hey,
one's for you.
ask for
So
another.
send me it. Huh? You want one too?
Ask for another one as well.
Oh yeah, listen. Yeah, listen. What the goal is with this, I want y'all to walk this with me,
Hmm.
right? So, um, even if y'all come through, say you're in town, we do something on a Monday night. You come speak to him, you can do the same thing as well. So I don't want to just be me. Like I always like y'all know me. I like taking people with me.
Yeah,
That's just who I am.
Sure. Definitely. Definitely.
So and then there's something else I can't say. I'm gonna say after the fact that I got for both of y'all. It's just a God told me to tell y'all this, but I'm gonna do it. And but with this, I'm gonna send both y'all some of y'all addresses, and I'm gonna send it to y'all.
I got you.
It's amazing. It's amazing, bro. This right here is next level.
I ain't gonna
And
lie, that's gonna be like a fear of like trying to get like them to come like read it. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause
what we talking about though?
I don't know. I don't know if
Like go in
everybody really
there.
like to follow with
This is
Christ.
not a coincidence, Cam. Thank you, Cam. The questions he asked is tied into everything we just said. And I'm glad you just said that because now they see you walking it, and then when they see you doing it,
It's a different thing.
it's going to affect them.
Hey man,
They're gonna be a fear.
I just the Holy Spirit to help me answer these questions. So,
Uh,
Good
but
job,
no,
Cam.
I think
I
I love
appreciate
it
you.
because
Great.
like I love it because I mean it's just being real, it's being transparent, and honest. Honestly, but it's because again, we've all been to that place, and you may feel like, oh, it's just trying to get these guys to come to my like. I'm in a Bible study group right now, you know, with a couple guys, and it took me like years. I think we started talking about this 3 years ago. Took me 3 years to even just have one at my house and just start it up. Now it's to the point where we're like, hey, we're doing this every other Tuesday. Every other Tuesday, pick a time, pick a date, pick a person. We're doing it, and it's been amazing because we're all, again, the way that Mo empowers people to say, you know what, I don't want to just lead this. I want everybody. So I think the first week I led it, the second week my homeboy led it, and then now we're just going on and on and on. It's like, hey, you got it this week. You come up with the topic, you come up with the question that you want to ask, you come up with the scripture, and you bring it to us, and then we will read it, and then we'll come back to you with stuff that we have to say as well as we studied it. So I just jumping back into just being like who has been impacted by it. Yes, as far as the podcast, honestly, I think it's been more. It's helped more people step out on faith, and not only just people, but myself as well. It's like again, if I said no to Mo, and it was like, you know, I don't think that's you know, I don't think I'd be in this position because people, and again, you may feel like, oh, I don't know who this is reaching just yet, E, but people come and tell me, I'm at my Duke's house right now. My Duke said hello as I'm about to mention her to both of y'all. But yeah, my mom came to me, I think I forgot what episode, but my mom came and was like, E, I like E talking. And most of the people where they come up to me, bro, I'm talking about like in church, people be like, yo, that dude E, bro, he cool, man. Like he really like I can really relate to him. And it's just because again, you feel like you're walking your walk by yourself, but people are there with you, whether you know it or not. And again, that's just you just sharing your testimony, sharing your faith, and just Mo dude, she said, I like Mo too. That's my son. But I mean, it's just like, you know, it's you may again you may be over there and you may not feel like this is actually impacting people, but this is again that's why most said go back and listen to the first one. People have been listening to the first one to now, so you can see this movement. But the thing is that you just feel like you're just doing it, but in reality, you've given so many other people the faith to do so. And that's
Yeah.
kind of something I've realized as well is like being comfortable with telling people things that I've struggled with, being vulnerable with people. That was like my biggest thing was just actually like letting people see my vulnerable side. I'm like, me and Mo were like one and the same. I'm you're not that close to me, like you said. At the top, it's really slim pickings, so I don't share a lot of stuff with a lot of people. So even like opening up on episode 3 about my incident, it was more so like people were like, "Oh, I never knew that about you," and that's actually like, it was like they were like, "I respect you more from knowing that." Like, it makes me feel closer to you because I can understand who you are as a person now. Like, why this is like the way that you move and stuff like that. And it was like also, it made me look at it as like, again, I go back and listen to this all the time as well, and be like, "Hey, I did say this." I was like, "I said that in that? That's crazy. Like, I didn't think I was saying that for real." But it also helped me kind of push past a lot of the things of like, again, like Mo said, this isn't just something I'm speaking to myself as well, to really break out in that place of just being like, I want to do it, but I'm not going to do it though yet. Like, I'm scared to do it, but being, like you said, moving in that moment of just doing it scared, it's pushed me to be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I was scared to go talk to like my pastor and stuff, but even just initiating that like the startup for it, hey, it's there. Like, you have to have these conversations, you know, because again, if we're not talking about it, then we kind of just letting stuff go by the wayside, and opportunities are being missed. People are being missed. People are fearing away and hearing other things from different sides, and it's like, it's not in the world we live in. We're just not the place that we should be in. There's no time for it. You know, there are people are hearing a lot of stuff that are wrong. Again, the truth is being kept to ourselves, and that's not how it's supposed to go. So I think, again, just using my life as a testimony, and then just saying yes to what God's calling me to do, and being vulnerable to people has made me open up to show, okay, this is actually I'm realizing that my vulnerability is actually a strength. And it's like, that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, because you'd be like, the thing that you feel like will hurt you the most has actually made you
Yeah.
stronger. And it's like, okay, well, how does that work? It's like, okay, well, the devil can't use it against you if it's no longer something that you're scared of using. So I've learned to use my fears and things that I'm scared of to be more strong, to be stronger in the areas that I'm in right now. So
Yeah.
that's how I kind of would uh, say people have been impacted around me through that. It's just they're being more open, like I said, because of the fact of how open I was. I think I gave my testimony in church some months back, and that was like it was my first time ever sharing my testimony, like from my incident to everything, how I was going through stuff. Um, my first time ever showing it, and it was also my youth students were in there, so they also got to hear why I wasn't there for a long time. You know, so, and that was like, it was tough to me because I'm like, dang, I think people are going to judge me now. I'm like, I
Mm.
think people are going to be like, and this is the guy that we have watching our kids. I don't think I want, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the position he should be in. But I
Mm-hmm.
realized as soon as, like, after that service, it was more people that came up to me and said, I can like, your testimony touched me so much. Like, it's made me be able to be more open about what I'm going through. Hey, like, hey, can I get your number so we can talk about this, because I've been struggling with these things as well, and you seem to have had an answer, and I just need to know, like, how to navigate through this as well. Some of my youth students I didn't even know, but they had an issue as well, and they were just like, you know what, hey, I I understand, like, I understand him. He's I almost said Pastor Cam. Whoa, I'm not a pastor, but
Yeah.
no, it's like, it it's made me realize that, again, where I thought was such a very vulnerable and scary moment for myself to even share with people, because people would judge me. It just realized that people are like, I want to gravitate towards him more, because he's real about it. He can tell, he can share his story and share it as a testimony and say, hey, this is where I was, this is where I am now, and this is all due through the grace of God. I mean, and that's how it works for me, honestly. Um, so I know we were talking about, we literally just kind of walked into every single question that we've had so far,
That's
because
fine.
I believe earlier Mo was speaking on, like, the moment his wife was like, "Oh, that's that moment I knew that that you're called to do this." Um, which I almost was just like, you know what, Mo, just ask the question. But the question is, was there a moment in your life when you realized God had a specific assignment for you?
Oh,
So,
it was moment. It was most of my moments. Yeah,
so
cause yeah, cause
but
even
I'll start with you, E, because this is more so
yeah.
like, you know,
Go
me and Mo
ahead.
already know, but let's hear from you
I
first.
I feel like God has always been calling me to serve. Like, there's always been something that I did. Even like growing up, like with my dad, when I was younger, like we would go like to like the like fast food restaurant. He'll take me get a haircut. We'll go to like McDonald's, Taco Bell, and I'll see like somebody homeless like out there, and I would like literally cry tears to my dad to like beg him buy this man some food, like get this man some food, like please for me. And my dad was actually the first one that really taught me like to have a genuine heart, because my dad, we wasn't rich, we not the richest. My dad would really like turn around, reorder, and get the man food. So that showed me like basically like, man, just being a good person, it's not that hard. So like God always been calling me to serve. But the moment that I really feel like I should step into it is when I like started becoming a professional, and I started seeing kids like write me, or like people from my neighborhood like, bro, I want to go overseas, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I never like had no answers to their questions, because I'm like, bro, I'm just getting started. Like, man, I'm trying to do my thing, I'm trying to do this, but God had a bigger purpose for me other than just hooping. Because outside of that, like I'm a good person, but I don't show everybody that. I don't really show everybody that. You feel me? Like the good side of me. I just get them like whatever, and they just see me hoop. But like it was like a bunch of like people who I've hooped with, who I played with, like that I've sent them camps to go to, or I helped them out like with coaches or agents, like stuff like that. Just basically like serving, even though that wasn't my duty at the time, but that was something God called me to do, because
Mhm.
I was on a platform that people that look just like me, come from the same place, just as me, they wanted to get on that platform. And just even now, like I'm still serving them, like in a sense where like they'll hit me up and like, bro, what do you do with this? Like, what do you do with that? And the first thing I always say, like to anybody, I be like, bro, just pray, talk to God about it. Like I can't give you no direct answer, because our situation is two different things. It may sound the same, but it's not actually the same. Like I always say, just go to God, bro, pray, talk about it to him, and then like he'll give you the answer that you need. So I feel like I've always been called to serve. Like that's something that I feel that warms my heart, like serving, like giving back, because I was a kid where I ain't see nobody give back that much. Only time people gave back was when Red Cross came. And when we had a hurricane or something like that, they gave us free food. But I ain't really see nobody like my color, like in my neighborhood, until I like started being a pro. And then like the pros who I looked up to, they started giving back. So like just growing up and not seeing that and just wanting to be that example. So that's something that I feel like I always had, like just being able to serve, like acts of service.
Beautiful saying, my boy.
We'll say it again. Mo, you want to take it?
Yeah, other than my wife, there's a guy named Joe. He's homeless. He's next door, and I remember the first we had like a cookout, and he you gotta think somebody homeless person, they don't want to go over there. They see the food, but they don't want to look like they're in need. So I walked over there, dude. I realized something that I learned from the Dream Center. So the Dream Center does food pantries, right? And usually, when people do food pantries, um, they almost treat the homeless people like animals, whereas they don't want, don't touch it, don't do this. Because I understand, obviously, sanitation and all that, but what the Dream Center does is they still have somebody looking right over seeing the food, but they allow them to pick, because you have to realize. I think we also take for granted that even going to a grocery store, a lot of people can't even do that.
Mhm.
So they're giving them that experience. And when she said that, I said, "Oh my gosh," because it made me think that I'm low key spoiled. Like, I mean, I ain't got it how I want to have it, but at least I'm not. Somebody always got it worse than I got it. So what I did is I got the hot dogs and I served them. Hey, what you need? Anything else? And as I'm doing it, you can see his heart start to open up. So then it went from him being mean, then now I'm driving down the block. He started waving, right?
Mhm.
And then it went from a wave. Man, the other day I pulled up, right? The man gets up and walks and meets me halfway. And the first thing he did was give me a hug. But the thing is, I know even I'm different. I'm be transparent with y'all. Like before, you'll be like, "Oh nah, you dirty, bro." Like, only you want
Yeah.
you. That would have been the young me. Both arms. He said, "Man, I love you, Pastor. Man, I appreciate you." Like he just and all I'm doing, bro, is just
Yeah.
conversating with him, making him feel heard, feeling what he's feeling. Right. So then just doing that made me, like he said, that that makes me go home with a smile on my face.
Hmm.
And hearing you saying serve, because like Cam said, that's how we got into knowing what we want to do, what we want to call to do. Like we just started serving, and then before you
Yeah.
know it, it just puts us in certain positions. So that right there, I love the people I serve, bro. Like I like serving the people that's in need, and I don't want nothing in return. And I'm not doing it for likes and comments and all that, because a lot of things I just told y'all, a lot of people don't even know. This constant conversations I'm having throughout the week with these people. And man, you need anything? Or trying to figure out how if I can get some rehab for them. Find out that some people even do free rehabs for them. So that's where I feel like God has called me, and I love it. I honestly do. Me and my
Yeah.
wife, we love it.
It's amazing.
I
I
ain't
think
gonna
a
lie,
man
this
got here
topic kind
alive.
of emotional, bro.
You
No,
said
it's
what?
good.
It's kind of emotional. It got me like tearing up because, like, bro, like, just, just, just looking from the outside, bro, like, and like, people do really treat people like that, and like, bro, that's not
Yeah.
like that's not, you feel me? Like, that's not love, bro. That's not being genuine. It don't matter like the circumstances of what somebody is. Like, even though like back then, like we would pick on like homeless people,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I never picked on them to the point where I kicked them down. I just be like, boy, that boy ugly. Like it's
Yeah.
something like that. But it's
Yeah.
like, bro, I always had like compassion in my heart, like empathy in my heart, like, bro, like that could be me. Like, this could be my granddad. This could be my uncle. Like, I don't know what he went through. You get what I'm saying? So, like, whenever I always have something, like, I'll always give. So, like, just thinking about, like, how the world is and, like, bro, like, we don't do enough for homeless. Like, we don't do enough for people in need, bro. And it's just, like, it's so touching because we have all the resources. We just don't
Hmm.
care in our heart. Like, a lot of people don't care in their heart to really give back, bro, or really even make that change to help out. And bro, like that's super emotional because it could be anybody. You know what I'm saying? It could be anybody at any given day. And it's like the same people that's not helping may need help. And then it's the people who still have that in their heart, they know that you wasn't helping, but they still gonna turn around and help you. Like if we just all figure out like how to help each other, how to make it better for somebody living, because we only got a certain amount of time here, but bro, just access services in that way, I feel like that's the utmost like I don't know how to put it into words, but I feel like that's the best feeling. That's the best feeling to anybody's heart, like helping, even though when you don't have it, because like you'll go give it to getting shot, so you'll go give it to let me go to this club, let me go see Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? But you won't. Let me buy this person a plate of food, or because where I come from, we'll say I ain't even got it myself. Like
I
I
ain't
ain't
got
got
it.
it, but we got it. But we got it. Though you get what I'm saying? But we got it. It's like you can give a little bit, bro, for real.
Hey, boy, you ain't lying, boy.
Hey, for real.
Hey.
But it's like, bro, it's it's crazy, bro. Like for
No,
real. Like I really started tearing up like a little bit. Like I'm really sensitive when it comes to that. Like that's something I don't really play about for real.
it's crazy you said something about compassion, and we learned something about a compassion chart, the Bible study. He said you have to look, feel, and then act.
Mm,
Sometimes, right, like you said, you can look at the homeless person, but then that feel part comes towards you, right? Like, dang, and then you act,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then, and it's putting you in a place with anyone. Like I'm starting to look at things not only from my perspective, but also anybody else's perspective. Because I also learned this from a podcast as well. It's a guy that's married, and he says when his wife get into an argument, he looks at a baby picture of his wife.
That's
He
different.
said because he's not talking to her right now, he's talking to the young. Boy, listen, boy. I told my wife instantly, send me that, because now you have compassion for her or
Hmm.
that person, to be like, the reason they're doing this is deeper than them.
Yeah.
So you have to look, right? Because sometimes we don't do that. That's the steps. You have to feel it out. All right, am I tripping? Or and then you act on it. So like you said, when you say compassion, it just took me back to that moment, because you're right. Like, man, you go in Lakeland now. Cam know this. Back then, we used to drive on Lake and you see all these homeless people. Man, I almost got in tears, bro. I literally went to go see some land, ran around the corner. I seen like 30 of them. And then I just was like, I can't act like I don't see that.
Hmm.
I can't act like I don't see that. My wife is the same way. We had a player that had something happen to their dad, and she's like, "Man, how can we do something for him? We barely got it." But she was like, "Yo, we can give him something, a card or something." People think it has to be $1 million. It ain't got to be that. It can be a conversation, right? It can be a prayer because people drive by them and talk rude things to them and do all things all day to them. But if you just look at them, this question right there, how you doing?
It's a very
That
big
can
question.
change. That can change their life. But E, my fault. E, we can go all this. We go. We can all. We go all this and serving, boy. Because I just think that this is just me. I feel like we're not doing enough. And
Honestly,
then there's something I got. That's
in
something I got to do better with.
the back of my head, Mo, you already know we've been playing it anyways. So that's really just like, man,
I'm
I know it's
coming.
gonna
If
joke.
I'm home, I'm
Go ahead.
coming.
Go ahead and share it, Cam. We can get time. Go ahead and share it, Cam. You can go ahead and do it. You can share that part, or you want me
Which
to do it?
one? Uh, we got two. So
Do both. Go ahead. So we on here.
okay.
Go ahead.
So you know what? We'll break it down at the end because it's gonna be a lot of instructions for everybody.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. My
Yeah,
fault, me
yeah.
dog.
So that's just amazing. Honestly, I really that's just crazy because it's just like again, it's just how everything flows. Um, again, this is I'm thinking of a lot right now because everything we've been talking about is literally something that we've all had to like in effect or really had our hearts to do, and it's just been like you know. Speaking of my homeboy Robert, we've been talking about how we can do something and I'm bringing him along with us as well to do it because he's done it before, and it's just kind of like the way God has positioned our lives to know people. Like as we want to do these things, He's placing people that have done these things, and and can kind of teach us the way to do it, and just to see the like we said the servant thing. I think the servant thing is very huge right now, um, because I didn't even answer my question. I'm gonna answer my question. Then we get into that. The moment where I feel like I realized I had a specific assignment was you know, most people like to think it was after my incident. Um, but it really wasn't. It was actually a night at the blend, Mo. I'm not sure. I think I'm the only person that actually ever realized this. It was really just because really it's just for me. But it was a moment at the blend where Pastor Eric, if you remember, we had all the kids write stuff on a sticky note and put it somewhere, right? I'm not sure if you remember that, but
I
it was
do.
like that. And then he called all of us down and he was like, I want my leaders to come down. I want you to pray over them. Again, just empowering people, just something that you do. And I thought, I don't think nobody gonna come over to me. You know what I mean? But in reality, it was crazy because uh, multiple kids started coming to me, and the kids that came to me were kids that I didn't even know were watching me.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that I have never actually interacted with. But these were kids that were coming to me and just being like, I see you all the time, and I just like the way you live, and I just thought, God was just calling me to come to you, and I was kind of like a moment of like, God told you to come to me, of all people, and this is still me living. And again, this is still me living in my sin, but still having that one foot in, one foot out. But I'm still trying to really grow a closer relationship with Christ. And it was kind of like, you sure God told you to come to me? But and I had to accept that, and that was a moment of me being like, okay, you know, it just shows me that my walk has been something that people are looking into, and even now, the way I interact with my students today, again, just like just showing up for them, but then also them wanting to know more about me. I think one of my students was going through a situation at work, and you know, he was like, "Hey, do you think you come talk to this person at work for me?" And I'm like, "You talk to anybody else about this?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "But I just trusted you with it." So it's like, okay, there's more people that could possibly do it for you, but the fact that you come to me is just showing me that I'm called to kind of be that person for y'all, because I clearly understand y'all. I'm younger, not as I'm closer to age than everybody else. Basically, that's like how I like to put it. But it kind of showed me in that moment of like, okay, again, it goes back to the am I qualified in that situation? Like I'm not. I don't feel like I was qualified, but God put me in this position to tell me, hey, this it doesn't matter how qualified you are. This is still the assignment I want for you, and this is where I'm
Mm-hmm.
pushing towards at every single moment. Like it's always been this. So go with it. You know, even the things that have been brought up to me to do in my church now has been more of like a, I'm calling you to do this. That's why I'm sending you here. And again, out of the scarcity of it, I'm still just saying yes to it. Um, so I think that's just the way it's been. But again, that all just ties back into how we've been serving and how I've been serving, serving my people, not just, um, honestly, not even just like my youth students, but the way I serve my wife, the way I serve my son, the way I serve my friends. It's been this big thing of how I serve everybody to kind of help and show me the way to do it. Um, so at this point, we're just gonna jump to the final spade, and I guess the final spade. Well, me and Mo can tag team this because actually all of us can tag team this because it's something we've been talking about. But uh, serving, we've been talking about a turkey drive in Thanksgiving, not on Thanksgiving, but in November timeframe. Just give back. We know people do it a lot. That's just one way we're going to try to do it for others. Uh, Mo, of course, you know more about this because it was kind of like a thing that we kind of talked about doing. I know you may not be back from Thanksgiving just yet. I'm not sure, but you definitely be back for December whenever we do
Yeah.
the toy drive. So you got a couple of them. Jesus, what we got
Yeah.
like three right now, Mo?
All right, go ahead. All right, so turkey drive, shoe drive. Looking at doing that. Obviously, shoe drive. What we usually do before with my wife. We used to do stuff for Gambia. We used to donate like a whole bunch of shoes to them. But now this year, even when I get involved, Cam already spoke to his church about it.
Yeah,
So we're getting more people involved because it's not just about us, right? We're all about unifying and being in partnerships with other people, and it's not even about me being the biggest thing on there. Us, it's just about how can we help people in need. Gambia is actually one of the poorest places in Africa, and recently we actually paid their fee to compete in FIBA now. So my wife got plugged in with a guy named Coach Lefty. He does a lot of stuff. I seen his Instagram, and we just got a heart for them, that community, and those kids, because those kids don't have it the best. So that's why we want to do the shoe drive, tour drive. We're still trying to find out the logistics of that. I know before we spoke about obviously probably doing one here in Pope, Miami, or if we obviously go out there with Cam. There's different things we got logistics we got to talk about, but we getting different people involved. So anyone that's listening to this, just be expecting some videos or whatever it is to how you can donate, how you can help. And this is not something we ain't just gonna do this year. We're gonna continue to do this.
yeah,
Because especially around the holidays, a lot of people don't get to realize the blessing to do even that. To even share a meal with your family, or even to some kids not able to get a toy. So just be ready for that. We in the talks of that, and you'll be waiting on that. And we're very excited to have the churches that's going to be involved, the nonprofits going to be involved, and we unified and walking this together.
yeah, definitely. I think again, it's just a calling to serve against, not against, but it's a calling to serve to everybody. Um, you know, we always talk about the best way to know what God's calling you to do is to serve. I think that's where we're all at. We're just continuing to serve, and that's what we want to do with just giving back to everybody through these different opportunities of serving. The shoe drive to Gambia, the turkey drive, or in the toy drive as well. Because again, at the end of the day, we may be some people or anybody that's listening may be more fortunate than others to have that moment. And again, it's also just another way to serve by just giving somebody an ear, hearing them, giving them a voice to be heard. There's a lot of voices heard nowadays, and some of the voices ain't right. So why not give back and hear, and also give an ear to them as well, um, to just not feel alone. We talk about it a lot about people, and so that's something that we want to do. Let's call a spade a spade, and as each other, and then also again, pulling in my homeboy Robert and his foundation, the RT2 Foundation, our churches, the Gathering Place, the Collective, and anybody else that's wanting to just jump on and be a part of this train of giving back through Christ as well. You know, again, I think it's a very big time and a time to serve others more than just ourselves. Um, it's time to draw more people in, call them closer to Christ, and love them with Christ as well, not just
Amen.
pull them in and just kind of leave them there. We have to love in Christ as well, and also correct some people in Christ. Some people are kind of lost in that way, but or have different views on it, or just don't understand it enough. So why not be the open door for people to hear us and become a part of this? And again, that can be as small as giving out a toy, giving out a hug, or giving out a prayer. So that's something we really want to do. Again, working on it. Whenever you back, we definitely, we are just joining into it.
Yeah,
Everybody stick around to hear more videos about that. We'll definitely be putting out more as November comes up. So October, we'll definitely be putting out some videos and some more information regarding what you can do to help or vol- even volunteer as well. Like we said, we want to do this in 3 different places, so if we can get it to be volunteer as well.
yeah,
Opportunity for you also.
yeah.
With that being said, I ain't got nothing else. You know, this is an amazing episode, by the way. As much as I'm
No, well,
like, dang, I want to wake up and do this, but hey, we let the Holy Spirit roll in that part. So,
yeah.
other than that,
No,
guys,
amen.
thanks for being with us. Till next time.
Peace.
Mo, don't hang up. I gotta remind you every time. Thank you for joining this conversation on Don't Miss Your Assignment. Remember, the calling God has placed on your life isn't random. It's intentional. It's vital. It's tied to someone else's breakthrough. Don't let fear, doubt, or distraction pull you away. Lean in, stay faithful, and trust that God will provide you with everything you need to complete what He started in you. Until next time, keep walking boldly in your assignment. You were made for this. Peace.